Try to imagine how much DNA is packed into one cell, and all of that contains information. So we can look at the activity of your DNA, the genes in your DNA, and know what genes are turned on and off. And there's 30,000 genes in each one of those cells. We can look at 900,000 points of what genes are active in your cell today from a home test kit. So this is how we make up a blueprint. Telomere, the longer your telomeres are, the more times your cells can reproduce themselves, and the longer you can stay healthy. The less DNA damage you have, the longer you stay healthy. The more stem cells can function, and the more accurate they can function. And we can now look at your gene activity. It's a speedometer on how quickly you're aging. We can do all of that from your home now. Now we're doing everything we can to bring this to be able to do this for the last volume, but we've been doing this for the last 5 years already in our key clinics. But this is soon, most of this is soon to become something that we can use to see how our products are working. Are they really working? Is my aging slowing down? Do I need Finity? Or do I need something to help my telomeres? Do I take, for instance, more reserve because my DNA damage? This is all going to turn to a much higher level of science and credibility. And my goal is to make sure Juness has this first and nobody else in our industry can touch us. That's my goal.
So these are the key biomarkers that we look at to decide how we are aging.
Exactly.
Exciting. So what is the final result we can get from these tests, and what does this mean?
The final result. Okay, so let's take a look at this. But let me give you. I'm sorry. Let me go back. So the final result is this. What's really important is this: is looking at what is our genetic age and how does that compare to our body's age. So here's an example. Okay, here's somebody who's actually 55 years of age. Right now, when we looked at this little home test kit, their genes come back at a 47-year-old. That person is aging slower than their actual body is. Okay, 8 years slower. That is great. Now, why is that important? The magic number is if you're aging 7 years slower, your chances of dying in the next 7 years are 56% less, 56% less that you're going to get age-related diseases in the next decade. So this gives us a marker on how long your health span is going to be, how long your function is going to maintain more optimal. On the other hand, if it's 7 years greater, which I will tell you, looking at the testing we've done on people, 90% of people are 5 to 7 years older at the genetic level. So their aging is accelerating. But within 4 months, on the right supplements and therapy, we can bring them back to below that. So this information is so important, and this is why this information is going to make a dramatic difference in what supplements we take, how much of them we take, and now we'll have feedback to show that things are actually working.
Fantastic. So what can be done to restore your stem cell numbers and function as you age?
So this is something, let's take a look at this gentleman. This gentleman is at our clinic in Costa Rica, which is now the largest regenerative medicine institute in the world. He's getting his stem cells collected. I've had mine collected. My wife has her collected. As you saw in that graph, at age 40, you start to lose your stem cell numbers and function. That doesn't happen to me, doesn't happen to my wife, because we got collected 8 years ago. And every year we get about 100 million of those cells replaced. They float up. And so this new technology is something that's going to revolutionize health span and wellness. Because just getting back your collected stem cells is one of the major ways to to avoid getting sick or age-related diseases. And if you couple that with the supplements, which work on a daily basis, um, this will be the future of preventive medicine.
Super exciting. All right, one last question I have for you. What do the advances in the future hold for all of us who are in the anti-aging field?
Well, I'm going to put myself out on a limb, and I'm going to say right now that everyone in this room should be saving a lot of extra money because you're going to be you have the potential to live dramatically longer than what you think is the normal situation. Let me give you an idea of what's going on um, in the world of anti-aging and the science research. Today, every 3 months, the information we have about the science and technology of aging doubles every 3 months. I want doubles every 3 months. 3 years from now, we are going to have 6,000 times more information on how to stay younger and healthier. Now, that's hard to comprehend, but we'll have 6,000 times more information about new supplements, new treatments. Okay, and this is something that's going to be absolutely amazing. So, for instance, let me tell you, in 2016, my research team and I at Rutgers took 80-year-old stem cells and turned them back into 30-year-old stem cells. We gave them back to 10 people in 2016 who were in their 60s and 70s. They're in their 80s and 90s, and they are healthier now than they were in 2016. Now, that was the first research. Today, we are taking that technology to a whole new level, and we started a research project where we have oral components that can do the same thing that we had to do to take the cells out and incubate them for 2 weeks. So the future of what we call cellular reprogramming and turning your older damaged stem cells back into young stem cells are one of the key things that will become a reality at the medical level in the next few years. So that is just one of the things. The other things that we knew, we saw these senescent cells. We now have oral compounds that can start to remove those senescent cells. Those alone help people stay healthier longer. So from the reprogramming to removing these senescent cells to a number of other things that are going to become medically available, it's a whole new world. So that's one big thing. Now, AI, we're all familiar how with AI has entered every one of our lives, from the chat bots to all of the things that we look at our iPhones, where you get your bot to help answer a question. It's not a human anymore, but here's the real thing. This is AI. Advanced AI is already here. So what does that mean for the anti-aging world? It's simple. In the next 2 to 5 years, the AI software programs will literally be equal to the smartest human being on the planet who knows more about cellular aging genetics than anyone ever knows. This will be in a software program. We will be able to go to a software program and have it run the research that today takes us a year, 2 or 3, and costs us millions of dollars to get the answers we're looking for, and be able to get those answers in 2 minutes. Wow. At a cost of maybe $3. So what you're seeing now is a logarithmic explosion in our industry. And it's not just about the super advanced technologies. It's looking at natural compounds that may become new products. It's looking at topical things that completely regenerate the skin. I'm working with one company right now who's isolated one factor that when they put on the human skin, it increases collagen 1,000%. It's not even, and it's just at the lab testing stage. But part of my job in the Science Advisory Board job is to look at all these advances and get them to us first before they get to the marketplace.
Well, thank you, Dr. G, for keeping us at the forefront of innovation. I know I feel privileged that you are heading up our science, our research, our innovation. Thank you for your knowledge and for pouring all this information into all of us. And yeah, let's clap it up for Dr. G and Papa, everybody. Thank you so much.